Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you. She might take offense.
I wasn't talking about her, of course. The bride's always the prettiest.
I've been at weddings where that wasn't the case, unfortunately. But I heard it ended in a brawl.
Aye, some idiots had a punch-up. It's practically a tradition, you know?
A pretty stupid tradition. The poor newlyweds. It's supposed to be a celebration and some numbskulls start fighting.
You're right.
And Lord von Berghoff didn't show up.
No, he didn't. I expect only old Samin was a bit peeved, since he couldn't show off to him. At least everyone else could relax and be merry.
From what I hear, some of them got a little too merry, eh?
I reckon even Lord von Berghoff couldn't have stopped the numbskulls, as you called them.
Did they fight over something serious?
What can you expect when one fella insults another fella's honor? It's always the same. You can't just let something like that pass.
I still think it's just plain stupid, brawling, and at a wedding what's more.
You're absolutely right, of course. Actually, it was really disgusting what happened there.
Here is a bell. Everything was fine as long as we had a king.
We still got a king, though.
Wenceslas was worthless as a king, true, but his brother Sigismund isn't any better. What more can I say? My pa, rest his soul, always said a fish stinks from the head down.
Are you mad?
Why?
You can talk like that in the tavern, but comparing the royalty, their majesties, to a stinking fish head, I don't want to hear any of that. Someone will overhear and you'll get in trouble.
I'm only a sweaty blacksmith. Who'd care what I think?
Who knows, but someone might care why I listen to such talk, and on duty too.
You play the saint, but I know very well what you fellas say in the guardhouse about the Chamberlain.
That's another matter.
And why?
Have you ever set eyes on Wenceslas or Sigismund? I doubt it. So you're talking about someone you have no personal experience with.
Well, best to drop it. Unlike my opinion about their majesties, someone might really take an interest in your opinion about the Chamberlain.
You're not wrong there.
We meet again.
I wouldn't put it that way.
I ain't never seen you here before.
I'm here to help.
Have you soaked the fabric? It won't catch otherwise.
Yeah, of course. Although Gazer thinks that more than only the skin of us. Where did you actually learn?
When I was an apprentice.
But you were a carpentry apprentice.
Aye. As far as I know, all the apprentices that studied with Master...
Where did you actually?
When I was an apprentice.
This property belongs to someone else.
They're not going to move on their own. Get to it!
I'm here to help my, uncle.
With the charcoal. Sinner, the blacksmith is your uncle.
I saw him but I didn't speak with him.
Did he seem off to you?
All them bookworms seem off to me. Although it's true, he was looking a bit, how can I put it, absent?
I met him a few times while on watch at the tower. Almost every time I'm there, I see him climbing up there.
I suppose he likes to enjoy the view.
I could understand that. Only sometimes he don't notice me and starts muttering to himself and hunching in a peculiar way while he's at it. I wouldn't want to gossip, but it raised the hair on the back of my neck.
And he didn't notice you standing there?
No, but then I clear my throat and he straightens up, looks at me, mumbles something and turns and goes.
Like I say, them bookworms is an odd lot.
Do you know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas. I had him moved during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff, and Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance?
Naturally. It's certainly good of you to want to pray for Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
I'll be going then.
Go, and don't forget about that prayer.
Christ. I ain't never seen you here before.
I'm here to help my, uncle.
With the charcoal? Orsina, the blacksmith, is your uncle.
Aye, Orsina.
So you're his new hand?
Oi, Wojtek. Could you stop gabbing and come and help?
Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
I ain't seen you here. Are you new and all? Well, I'm Magda.
I'm Henry.
It's great to have some new lads here.
Oh, aye. Henry, how about you bugger off? I wouldn't want a repeat of our last disagreement.
It'd end up differently this time.
Are you also helping Wojtek's uncle?
No, I'm not helping anyone's uncle. This is a punishment, just like with Wojtek here.
A punishment?
Aye. We got into a bit of a fight at Lord Samin's wedding.
What? Are you trying to make a fool of me?
Ah, that's not quite how it was.
You wretch.
Oh, thanks. You really are a cunt.
A cunt? While you're having fun chatting up girls, I'm hauling sacks. If anyone's a cunt, it's you.
Tss. Don't worry, I'll find you.
I've no time for idle chat. They'd pile on more work for that.
The first bell. Another 11 to go. Whew. That's that.
Once more then.
I heard you're in need of money, friend.
Aye, true enough. I need to pay the tithe and give something to the church for my father's requiem mass.
Isn't it a bit early for that?
It's ages till St. Wenceslas Day.
The one that serves here.
Well, who wouldn't notice her, eh?
This property belongs to someone else.
God bless.
What am I to do with this?
fooling around with that door?
I really don't know.
Greetings to you, friend.
God be with you. What would you like?
I was told to come and ask you for a job.
Nice timing. Do you know anything about carpentry?
No. Blacksmithing is more my field.
Ah, well, that's handy. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold, so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one broadaxe in the shed, but it's as blunt as a file. Of course, Osina didn't find time all year to hone the thing.
By the way, would you happen to know how I can get up top in the Maiden?
Why, up the stairs, of course.
Yeah, but I'm not actually allowed inside the tower.
Then don't go there. Hey, I'd love to chat with you, but I got a job to do.
I could help you with that.
You could? Well, that'd be great. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing. The second toll for Hans. Here it is. Hope it's good.
You haven't made much effort with it. Do you know what a sharp axe looks like?
Ah. I'll hone it a bit more then.
Get on with it, though. It's holding up my work.
Farewell, my friend.
Here it is. Hope it's good.
Sharp as a skinning knife. Nice. Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that.
And then the execution would be postponed?
I doubt it. We're not going to make a show out of it like they do in Prague. But someone would have to get their hands dirty, and no one fancies that.
Understandably.
Anyway, thanks. I can't afford to fuck things up today. The Chamberlain is as tetchy as the devil.
Isn't he always?
Yeah, but even more today. Anna the laundress said he's got bellyache. Everyone is avoiding him like the plague.
Uh-huh. Would you happen to know how I can get into the Maiden?
And what would you want in there?
I want to pray in the chapel. And they don't want to let me in.
The chapel, eh? Well, I'll be damned. I know one hand by the name of Binyek that wanted into the castle too. But for a damn different reason.
And did he succeed? In getting in, I mean?
Aye, he did. He climbed down into the well in the courtyard. See, there's caves under Tursky, and the well ain't actually a well, but an underground pool in one of them caves. And from there, you can get to the dungeons, and then into the Maiden.
Oh, he sounds bold.
Oh, aye, but they still caught him and gave him a whipping. And when they found out how he done it, they took the cleats out of the well wall.
What does that mean?
That the next Binyek would have to jump in and not climb down. I wouldn't fancy that.
Indeed. What was Binyek after in the castle?
A certain buxom chambermaid who wouldn't give him what he was after in the hay and wanted a fine feather bed.
You don't mind building a scaffold for an innocent man?
No, such matters ain't my concern. The lords decide. I just build the scaffold. A fella has to know his place in this world, like my old pa used to say.
I'll be going.
Aye, I've got to get back to work too.
Farewell, my friend. And
If you've got nothing to do...
The third toll. I better get moving.
On your way. I won't let you into the castle.
God bless.
Good to see you, friend. Did you hear about what the bailiff is planning?
No, I don't care for gossip.
Nor do I, but this is important.
I'm not interested.
But this is about money.
What?
Go on then. He wants to fleece us again. Damn it. That's just what we need.
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too. Even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith. A respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what. Go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that you don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
Well, it depends. Usually 4, but once there was a 3-legged foal born in our village.
All right, all right. You're a fool, but maybe you're a handy one. So go and make 1 horseshoe for the groom, all right?
But a horse has 4.
Aye, but Kabat's missing just 1, and I ain't going to waste more on him.
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads!
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing here grumbling?
Because of that damn blacksmith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
How can the blacksmith help you?
How do you think? He always takes this bit of wire and opens the chest for me, and then he promises to change the lock for 3 years now.
But the blacksmith is just around the corner.
I know he is, only he tells me to wait, that he's got more important things to do.
Seems to me he's just talking.
I wouldn't be surprised, the lazy wretch. But what can I do? I'm just a loudmouth cook, so I have to wait.
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
Well, you said the blacksmith knew how to do it, though. So the blacksmith isn't a decent man?
Aye, and he ain't decent. He's a nasty piece of work.
I know how to do it, but first I have to get tools for it.
All right, I'll wait here. Another while won't kill me.
Guard?
Must you interrupt me at my prayers? If it's arms you want, go to the kitchen.
Sorry to bother you, but I heard you praying. I need to get to your captain.
You know Thomas? Where from?
Well, that's a really long story, but I heard what happened to him, and I need to talk to him.
Talk? What do you expect to hear from him? But it's all the same. Thomas is lying in a fever upstairs in the Maiden. It don't look good for him. Them bastards cut him up good, the poor fella. And if that wasn't enough, they stole his rosary too. Barbarians.
What exactly is wrong with Thomas?
He was badly wounded in a fight. It looked for a while like he wouldn't live to see the dawn. But he got a bit better. Only a few days ago he caught a fever and the Sawbones is away with Lord von Burgo. And that fever ain't letting up.
And the Maiden Tower, which one is that?
You're in Trotsky for the first time, eh? It's that narrow, higher one on the eastern side. We call the second one the Crone. There's some legend about it, but to tell the truth, it never much interested me.
I'll be going. I'll pray for Thomas.
Thanks. Merciful God, grant that our Captain Thomas may recover. I beg you, let his wounds be healed. And if you take him from this world, welcome him in to your heavenly kingdom. Take him to your bosom. He was a good Christian and a fine man.
Cold. I should hop over to the forge. Oh, this is useless. It's cold. Good. This won't take long now. The fourth bell. Fanker the cook sent me.
Jesus Christ, God protect us from all evil. What does that harpy want?
She's not able to open the spice chest.
Again? She's a bloody nuisance.
Maybe if you fixed it, she'd stop bothering you.
Maybe if your pa wiped you off on his sleeve, you wouldn't be here making cheeky remarks. I'm a castle blacksmith, not some village tinker. I've more important things to do.
She told me you always open it with some implement. I'll gladly do it if you tell me where to find one.
Jesus, why do you even talk to that woman?
I'm supposed to help out around here.
What of it? I already let you into the forge anyway. There's this small red pot on a shelf there with some lockpicks in it. But I don't suppose you know how to use one.
As it happens, I do.
I'd rather not ask where you learned. Although you just got out of jail though, eh? Just don't get up to any funny business with them.
Sure. About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here, so either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you've still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Let's see what you've got.
Yeah, maybe next time then. Oh well, what can you do?
What about those...
Shh! Not so loud. So, as I said, it won't be cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally. What about those lockpicks?
Shh. Suit yourself.
Still no sign of the blacksmith?
None at all. And if I can't get nothing baked for his lordship on account of him, it'll be a sorry day for the both of us.
Oh well.
He ought to, the damn scoundrel.
Do you know how I can get up to the chapel?
You can't. Only his lordship and his family go there. And of course, Father Nicodemus. Usually, that is. Only now, Captain Thomas is lying there. He's at death's door. God save him.
I understand. So I got what I needed, and we can get to it. Where's that chest?
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship will be back any time.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed there. I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You're going with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burnt the rue in the morning, and then the girl told me we're out of venison. I don't know what that gamekeeper's up to again. Actually, I do know, and it ain't nothing good. And now this. 3 years that lock is broken, and 3 years that good-for-nothing has been promising to fix it. But no. After all, I'm just a stupid cook fanker who's always nagging and won't leave anyone in peace. But if I didn't nag, there'd be nothing done in this godforsaken castle. You have to kick people's asses here to even get them out of bed in the morning. The lazy bones. Pfui!
smile. I don't want to see any sour faces when his lordship returns. You'll be happy to see him home.
Here it is, that damn chest. 3 years I've been telling him. God's truth.
And make sure those liverwursts are well roasted, so they're crisp on the outside and juicy on the inside. Nothing half-cooked. Oh.
Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
What did I do to deserve this?
Hang on. Where's that ginger? Herrdeck, how am I to make that gingerbread? I'll bet it was that ninny Dorker who took it. Why do I even bother?
Sir Otto will be back any time. Make sure everything...
Take care, then.
I don't want to see any idling here. No. Again.
What if my soul is burdened with sin? Is there a way to cleanse it?
Of course, son. You can redeem yourself with an indulgence, or take the path of repentance and atone for your sins with a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. And you, if I'm not mistaken, have a few, similar concerns. Come find me when you have atoned for your worldly sins.
It seems like you'd be glad to have someone to play with.
Alea jactan honest, my friend. The die has not been cast, and that grieves me. No one wants to play with me, so I'll be quite glad if you join me. And for what shall we play? You don't look too well off.
What did you do that no one wants to play with you? I hope you don't cheat.
Certainly not. Although it may look that way at times, since fortune is exceptionally good to me. Do not expect any tricks from me. It would be a sin.
And isn't playing dice a sin, too?
It's not as if we were Roman soldiers playing dice for Christ's cloak, is it?
I never understood what they wanted that robe for. I doubt Jesus had any finery.
They sat on the robe, so they wouldn't feel the cold. You see, at that time of year, it was pretty cold in Golgotha.
Cold? Wasn't Christ crucified at Easter?
Yes, but it's more complicated. The lunar calendar, leap years, and whatnot.
Uh-huh. I heard you have a certain turquoise rosary.
Aye, it belonged to Kabat, although belonged is a strong word.
How do you mean?
Kabat is known for having some peculiar things in his property, if you grasp my meaning.
Hang on. You're saying you don't mind holding on to a stolen item?
And who should I give it back to? I doubt Kabat will tell me who he took it from. Besides, you've got to admit a rosary belongs in the hands of a servant of the Lord. It's safe with me. Once its owner turns up, I'll gladly give it back to him.
Or lose it in a game of dice. I wouldn't say it's very safe in your hands.
I'm a priest, not a saint. So what of it?
Let's play for it then.
Certainly, why not? As long as you put up a decent wager against it.
Maybe we better leave it for now. I don't have very much coin at the moment.
As you wish, friend. But if you should change your mind, I'll be glad to play.
The bell's ringing for hands the 5th time. I should do it more evenly. This'll be done in no time. Fine. Now to temper it. This'll take a bit longer. That looks like it's almost done. Good. That looks finished. The 6th bell. Half the time is up. Well, I've got half finished.
Christ Jesus, who laid down his life for our sins, I beg you and the guardian angel to take care of your good servant, Captain Thomas. Thomas is a virtuous,
Good.
faithful, and good
This won't take long now.
beg you heal him. And all
Fine.
the other soldiers of Christ.
Now to temper it.
So I went to see my mother.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Talk about the inheritance. But your father... still alive.
I'm sorry.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
What do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
He complained to the bailiff, saying the oak's dangerous and has to go.
The 7th bell. So, are you...
Indeed, I...
Well, appearances can deceive. Let's play for a coin.
Heavenly music to my ears, friend.
Maybe we better leave it.
As you wish, friend.
Christian and fine man. Amen.
What do you want?
I'll have a look at your... I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
Why don't you go to the other kitchen? They're cooking there.
Are you daft? That's the noble's kitchen. We get our food here.
I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread.
If you don't want it, I won't force you.
So make sure everything's in order. I don't want to see any idling here. Killing.
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
Sir, I might not look the part, but I've read a lot.
Don't waste my time with your jokes, you nobody. What would you be able to read?
Species de cipit, sir. Looks can deceive. As it happens, I've read many Latin and other texts. For example, the etymologies of Isidore of Seville, the writings of Abbess Hildegard of Bingen, and the Herbarium de Horis Sanitatis, De Materia Medica, and others.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Tell me, sir, what do you usually eat?
Well, I often eat from the banquet table.
So, a lot of roasted game?
Yes, and pâtés, goose, duck. I dine as befits my status.
I see. With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Sir, I'm afraid you have a stomach ulcer. If it's not treated, you could even die of it.
Good God! What should I do?
The main thing is a strict diet. No fatty or heavy foods. In other words, nothing from the banquet table. You have to eat boiled white meat, poultry or fish, lots of vegetables, and gruel.
Gruel? Like a...
Yes, like the common folk. And another thing, you mustn't get angry, under any circumstances.
What? I mean, what?
That's the way. Oh, and I'll get you a herbal potion. I know exactly what will do you good.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only, I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Oh!
See you later, my friend.
And when that's all done, let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me up in front of his lordship.
Merciful God. Your only begotten Son.
Aren't you supposed to be helping out?
Nice day.
Say, I heard some interesting books arrived here from Prague.
Let me stop you right there. Preparations are underway to execute a poacher. I don't have time to worry about a book right now. Stop by once the lad is strung up.
It's the 8th bell. I need to hurry.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
You know I was locked up? Oh, for such an uncaring girl, your interest is a bit suspicious.
Right. I spend the whole day following you and the arrogant fool around, spying on you.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again. You!
I'm still not sure.
Yeah, that would be because I haven't told you. You! What in God's name are you doing here?
I'm looking for something.
Well, look somewhere else.
I'm still not sure who you are.
Yeah.
I need help.
Who doesn't? I still have to clean out all the fireplaces in the Crown. Do you know how many there are?
I don't know or care. I was sent here by the Chamberlain. He wants me to help him with his stomachache.
That slimy toad. If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you coming here.
And you too, no?
Well, there's quite a big difference between you and me. The guards don't pay much attention to me, but you...
I get it. Sometimes it's an advantage.
And sometimes not. So, to the point.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
9th bell. Only 3 to go. Damn! Shit! Damn!
Give it a scrub you're after. Stuff your face quick. Get back to work.
You'll be happy to see him home.
Good day. What do you need?
Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I have exactly what you need, sir. Sir, I'd recommend that you take this digestive potion to settle your stomach. Take it after every meal, and don't forget, a good diet, and do not get upset.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
I've always wanted to take a look at your chapel. I'm a great admirer of the master who painted the altar there.
Oh, go where you want. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you.
Where did you come from? I ain't never seen you.
Oi, Wojtek. Could you stop gabbing and come and help?
Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
I ain't seen you here. Are you new and all? Well, I'm Magda.
I'm Henry.
It's great to have some new lads here.
Oh, aye.
Henry, how about you bugger off? I wouldn't want a repeat of our last disagreement.
Are you also helping Vutek's uncle?
No, I'm not helping anyone's uncle. This is a punishment, just like with Wojtek here.
A punishment?
Aye. We got into a bit of a fight at Lord Semin's wedding.
What? Are you trying to make a fool of me?
That's not quite how it was.
You wretch.
Oh, thanks. You really are a cunt. Don't worry, I'll find you.
Good day.
The king himself announced that everyone should have a good bow on hand.
Which king would that be?
No, please.
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden for 3 days.
I'm sorry. Oh, Christ. But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes, it's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
I heard that your brother is lying in a fever, so I brought something for him that might help.
Really? I don't know what to say. And I was against dragging Thomas to the chapel. I felt it would only burden him more.
God moves in mysterious ways. We ought to administer it to him quickly.
Yes, of course. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
Vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. The worst of all, a poacher! And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoi.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But, sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Your Chamberlain's welcome was appropriate enough, considering our appearance, the situation in your domain, and your orders, sir.
I appreciate your diplomacy, young man. Master Chamberlain Ulrich can sometimes be more hasty and passionate than is healthy. And we are glad you hold no grudge against him. Are we not, Ulrich?
I regret what happened, gentlemen. Please accept my humblest apologies.
Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Rattay showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
Huh. The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzik are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed, you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. Gentlemen, follow me. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today. Silence is golden, eh? Nevertheless, welcome to Trotsky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost.
Christ,
excuse me.
pardon me.
The The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
Unless you're planning to accommodate me in the dungeons, I'm not interested.
Be at ease, we're almost there. Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you, or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
You silly doggy.